What's happening, my man?
Sup, dude?
You know, just over here living the dream.
We're back at night again.
We are back. Late nights.
Yeah, it feels like it was just so long ago that we were together. We're reunited again.
Such a long time from Friday.
Well, dude, yeah, it feels like it anyways. So, hey, everybody, what's up? We're back.
How's everybody's night going? How was everybody's weekend?
It's terrible.
Let's hear all about it.
No,
Yeah.
I want to hear about theirs. I want to hear about everybody else's weekend. We went to the beach, dude. I promised my kid that I'd take him to the beach this summer before school started.
Yeah.
And I did. So I took him to the beach on Saturday. That was cool. So
They have a lot of fun.
yeah, dude, they were super duper pumped on dipping their toes in the water. You know, it was a cool thing. They've never done anything like that before. So
Heck yeah.
yeah, it was cool. It was super cool. It also just is rewarding to actually be able to be a man of my word at this point and like
Yeah.
do the thing instead of, you know, a previous version of me be hungover and be like, beach in the morning. No, it's hot.
Oh no, got rained out in the Bighorns.
Oh, not
Bummer.
ideal.
But also you're in the Bighorns, so I mean, come on. The Bighorns are just a beautiful place.
Dude, yeah, I'm there, dude. Like, not
What's up, Mr. Townsend?
not to talk smack on the lake here, but it's, you know, it's in the middle of the city, so
Yeah.
it was like weird. It's just weird. It's weird to me, like having Alcova Lake in Wyoming. I
Yeah.
told the kids, they were so pumped. I was like, man, I gotta bring you back home, and you gotta check this lake out because like it's very different. But
Have you had the kids back here?
two of them were born there, so they
Oh, okay.
spent some time there. But I mean, we haven't been back since 2020.
Oh,
So yeah, I mean, they've done some growing since then, so they'd have a lot more fun now if they went there.
yeah.
Yeah, and the last time we were there was just one night, and then we came here. They just flew up for us to get the rest of our stuff, and then moved down here to Texas. So been a
Nice.
minute, but yeah, my son lost his first tooth today. It's his second tooth, but his first, like, one of the important ones, the front top one. So that was pretty cool. So yeah. What's up, Todd? Glad you're here. So I don't know that I've ever seen Todd before. So let's get the spiel out real quick so he knows what we're doing. How about that?
Yeah, let us know who you are.
I am Dillon Reed. I am a professional sobriety coach, and I help dads get sober so that they can take care of their wife and kids again. Because when you're drinking, you suck at it. Be honest, and I help you stop sucking at it. That's what I do. How about you? What do you do?
Heck yeah. My name is Dr. Ryan. I'm an expert in the field of relationship communication. I'm a relationship coach. I help you get your relationship back on track to where it's thriving, where you enjoy it, where it grows into the future. All done through communication, of course, the backbone of every relationship.
Damn it.
I know, it's a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, what?
The one thing
happened to
nobody
the-
wants to work on is the one thing that will make everything better.
Dude, but in the 40s and 50s, it was fine. Those guys just ignore their wife. Everything was okay, right? Those were healthy relationships, weren't they? No?
Well, I mean, no. But also, you didn't. The funny thing with that is you didn't see behind closed doors. You saw a masculine persona and you saw gender roles in the home, but you didn't see behind closed doors because they didn't air their dirty laundry to everybody. They were
didn't
very
have
tight-lipped, but
Facebook?
you had a lot of actually solid power couples where they were handling their stuff at home and they weren't airing it. So you might think, oh, these guys they weren't saying anything. No, the communication was happening at home behind closed doors and not involving the general public,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
which is
No.
what a strong relationship should be.
Yeah. Ideally, dude. For real. For real. Um, yeah. I mean, my wife and I are pretty good about that now. Like, she doesn't even post on Facebook. She just creeps. I don't know if I mentioned it on the show, but she watched our first show like a week ago.
Oh
She
yeah.
just, yeah, she just doesn't do this. I mean, she creeps on Facebook every once in a while, but it's not her bag, dude. Um, we actually like broke up ish early on in our relationship over Facebook.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm like I mean, I haven't been in this space specifically, but I've been like a content creator for like a decade and a half. Much better now that I'm sober. But
Hmm.
when her and I first got together, I like cracked a joke on Facebook. She didn't think it was very funny. Um, and I just told her, I was like, if you have a problem with it, like it's going to be a problem for us forever. Because I'm not going to stop doing this just because it, hurts you somehow.
Yeah.
Um, So yeah, I mean, she just kind of got used to it. I toned it back a little bit too. I'm more respectful of the boundary of our relationship
Yeah.
and social media. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, man. So there
I
you
mean,
go.
and those are good talks to have, especially with the day and age of social media. Melissa and I had it very early on
Yeah,
because I run my business on Facebook. I was like, hey, here's the deal. And we had to have the talk. Like,
the talk.
we had to have the talk. Like, this is my business online. I'm more than happy to have you present on there, do whatever, but you have to okay when you're on my page and when you're not.
Yeah,
Like, there has to be some boundaries set there. Um, and also, I don't want people to have instant access to her because I get so much crap. I don't want her to have to take any brunt of that.
no, that's cool. That's like the way it should be, I think, right?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I mean, like it shows I'm married, but it doesn't even show who I'm married to. So
Yeah.
like, if you don't know who I am, you don't know who she is. Like, you don't know who it is.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I mean, I think you're right. That's a conversation a lot of people don't have.
Hmm.
Um, I'm kind of, I can be a jerk. I still can. I mean, I'm sober. I'm not perfect. All right. There's this dude that was just talking mad. He kept just trolling me on Facebook. So I just looked at his profile and he was saying something about like his wife and cheating on him with like the karate instructor and all this stuff. And that's why he drinks. It was this total contrived story. And then he was making fun of my kids' names. Like it was just, he was just being a jerk. Right. So I just like stalk him a little bit and then I find his wife. So then I commented, I was like, well, what do you think that like blah, blah, blah thinks about it? And I haven't heard shit from him since then. It's just like, dude, like you're in a public space.
Yeah.
Like if you want to start throwing rocks at people, like be prepared for somebody to throw a boulder your way because like that's how I play, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
don't come mess with me in my house, buddy. Like you don't know what you're doing. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
it's yeah, but yeah, internet. What's up? It's fun. I've
It
never
is.
doxed anybody. I think that's a little far. If you know where someone lives, like let yourself know that. Don't tell other people because that's not
Yeah.
cool. But
Yeah.
um, yeah, man. So that's what's going down today, I suppose.
I like
Anything
it.
else you want to throw down about the
No,
weekend or
no,
the day?
we got Jackie here on vacation, sober, enjoying it.
That's what's up. Hey, I love that. I love this right here. Feels good to be trusted again. Um, I know someone else that's in Vegas right now on vacation, and she was just like, "This is like a thing I never thought I would be able to do again." And I'm a
Mhm.
huge, we've talked about on the show. I'm a huge believer that like it is not chronic. Like it is not a chronic condition. It is at first. It needs to be maintained at first, but you can get to a point where like
Yeah.
you're it's not constant maintenance to be sober. It's just not a thing.
Yeah.
So good on you. What's up, Jen?
What's up? Yeah. What's up, Jen? What's up, Jess? Great to see you back.
Yeah, great to see you back. There we go. There's the
Hi.
Jen. And hey, Todd, we're not ignoring you, I promise.
No, North Carolina, retired military.
Of course he drinks.
Of course you drink.
We have these weird of courses that we have to drink in the US. It's bizarre to me. But hey, you know what? I don't make the rules and I don't play by them all the time either. So it's whatever, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So
I mean, some of those cultural things, it is ingrained.
oh, you don't want me to open this can of cultural worms I got for you tonight if you want.
That's exactly why I said it. I want to see you turn bright red
Oh,
this time.
dude.
What you're doing. You're
Yeah,
doing
you want to know what grinds my gears? Yeah, no, I mean, like, I'm not really mad about it. I just think it's insane. There's an event. I was telling Ryan a little bit about it before. There's this event here locally where they're drinking at 8 o'clock. They're like meeting. A huge group of people are meeting to have. I don't know what huge is, but it's like it's big enough. They posted on Facebook about it. There are companies here locally that have sponsored the event. They're meeting locally to drink at 8 o'clock in the morning, and to like celebrate either their kids going to school or out of sadness, grief that their kids are going to school, right? And I just think I've got nothing against the people doing it. And I have a problem with a culture where that's like okay. I think that's nuts because there's just like a slew of comments where people are like, "This is cool, like it's okay, this is great. Let's go drink at 8 o'clock in the morning." I just think it's crazy. And then furthermore, there's like a whole entire paragraph justifying why it's okay to drink at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm like, if you need a paragraph to rationalize the decision, you probably shouldn't be making it. Like in my head, as soon as I start playing mental gymnastics to say that I mean, it's okay for me to do something, I pause. Like that's when I pause. Like if I have to like really contrive something in my head to say that it's okay behavior, it's just not. Like it's just not. I have to like lie to myself to feel good about it. But yeah, culturally, like it's crazy. And then there's teachers that are like, too bad it's during our work hours because we're the ones that really need the drink. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Like, what planet have I found myself on? I mean, it's the same one I've been on this whole time, but moments like that just make me I have to give pause to it and like look at it like, what the hell, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah. And for those of you that are new to the show, like, I don't hate booze. I don't despise booze. My wife drinks on occasion. Pretty much the entirety of my family drinks. Almost my entire friend circle drinks. Like that's their prerogative. I don't hate alcohol. I don't like that. What I don't like is using kids as an excuse to get inebriated. I think that's crazy. Like, oh, my kids were such a pain in my ass all summer. Now I can drink because they're gone. Thank God. Like that's messed up. Like I don't think it's good. It's this weird, to me, it's a slippery slope. It becomes permissive of using alcohol as I don't know, a gateway to all sorts of other emotional coping mechanisms, right? So there you go. I'm done.
A little devil's advocate would never hurt anything.
No, it hurts my feelings, but
what about them waiting until their kids are gone to drink, saying like, right, we've waited all summer, we've taken care of our kids, we've done the things, we haven't been drinking. Now we're going to have a little celebration. So, I mean, this gets back to kind of how family history that Todd's talking about plays a big part as well as culture.
Yeah.
You think like,
there we go. Todd's already backing me up, dude. He's already got my back here. Jeez, Ryan, sit back down. No, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I'm not. That's why I made it. I really try to throw in the caveat that I don't hate booze.
Yeah.
Dude, that's how I drank. That's how I drank. I did not drink until the kids were tucked in, like my duties were done, and then I just got wasted, right? And this is my other thought of it. It's like, well, then who's gonna go pick up the kids, bro? Like, I mean, what is the plan for the rest of your day? You're like, what about work? Like, what is this? I just think it's this crazy concept. It's a Thursday, dude. You're gonna go turn up on a Thursday at 8 o'clock in the morning? Get out of here, bro. Like, unless you're working night shift at the mines or something, and 8 o'clock is your happy hour. Like, I don't think it's a thing you should be doing. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just feel as though what you said there, it's like, well, it's a celebration. Like, again, that's having to create these excuses to behave in a way, which then makes me go, well, then why are we behaving that way? Like, if we need to justify our behavior with a thing, whether it's good or bad,
And
I think
we've
maybe
talked
not.
about it before. Do you think part of the reason that you get so upset about it is because it's justifying a celebration, or is it more because the they use the kids leaving that's more irritating to you? Because we've talked about justifying things through celebrations,
Yeah, yeah.
and that's
Dude,
kind of
it's
the
it's the kids, honestly. Like, that's the thing that just ooh, infuriates me. Like, if they were
yeah,
just, dude, if they were just drinking because there's a wedding,
yeah,
celebrating because it's a wedding, celebrating because you got a raise, like, I don't know, dude, anything
yeah.
except like drag children into the mix. Like,
Mhm.
and I also, dude, that's where the mommy wine culture comes from. This BS concept of like taking care of my kids is so hard that I need to drink. And it's
Yeah.
like, maybe you're in the wrong business, folks. Like, I don't, like, I mean, if your kids are a burden to you, you need to reevaluate where you're at. Like, I'm not
Yeah,
saying get rid of your kids, right? Like, that's not what I'm saying, but
yeah,
you made a choice. They're in the middle of that choice. And for you to like check out by drinking on a regular basis because it's just
yeah,
so taxing to take care of your kids, I feel bad for them. I don't even feel bad for you, you know? Um,
yeah,
that's my hot take for the night, dude.
yeah.
So there you go.
I
I
like
did
it.
it.
I had to play devil's advocate there,
You
and
usually do. That's why we're on this together instead of otherwise you'd have an hour long rant. Dylan
yeah,
would just going
I
off.
can't just sit here and be a sounding board.
No, no, not at all.
I'm not your yes man.
Hey, well, and I don't want those, man. I had enough of those my whole life, and that's part of how I got in this mess, right?
Yeah,
There,
using kids
man.
using kids as an excuse. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a gross, man. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just super cringe to me.
Mhm.
Um, and it's just weird because there's just this like big back pat and circle jerk thing going on where everyone in the comments are just validating each other's decision to what I view as a poor, it's immoral as far as I'm
Yeah,
concerned, you know?
yeah.
Um, so whatever, dude. But so yeah, now that my blood pressure's back down,
Did
uh,
you ever think as creating your own kind of anti that?
well, dude, this is my wife and I were talking about. I was like, what the fuck happened to coffee and donuts? Like, why is that so? That's lost on people that you could do the normal traditional thing that you do.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Did you think about maybe doing a community event
I'm
with something
not,
like that for all the people maybe who don't wanna drink, who aren't gonna drink? I mean, I think it'd be great to
in
have.
the future, I think that'd be cool. I'm a little late to the party on this. I got like 2 days to plan that. Um,
Well, yeah,
although
but
I could,
I mean, other things. I mean, you've got spring break, you've got right, you've got
so
Christmas, you've got a lot of things coming up, and you guys have the weather to do this stuff regularly.
I I have really big dreams with what I'm doing. Like the
Mhm.
whole I am not your sponsor, you know, INYS. It's like that whole brand in the future in my eyes. I'm working on putting together a foundation. So a percentage of the revenue that I pull in actual go into a foundation that's designed to help pay for people to get sober, pay
Yeah.
people to get, you know, get access to mental health care. I would love to own rehab facilities at some point. We talked about how convoluted that is on the episode on Friday. So I'd love to be able to like get my hands in and fix some of those things like myself. That's really why I'm into entrepreneurship is because it's like I can make the biggest changes in the world that I can through
Mhm.
business. And one of the things I want to do is have sober retreats. Like it is, you know, people are like, oh, we're gonna go get on the Carnival cruise, and one of the first things you hear people talk about is like the all access get drunk pass the whole time they're there. It's like,
Yeah.
well, let's go have like a non-booze cruise. Like, why not do those kinds of things? So that's the kind of stuff I would really like to do. So to answer your question, yeah, it's a thing in the future. Definitely want to
The
do.
reason you can't do a non-booze cruise is because it doesn't rhyme.
Dude, I'll figure it out. Dude, if you can rhyme 4-inch, orange, dorange, like
Okay,
Eminem,
Eminem.
okay? I think then you can all figure something out. Okay. I spent enough time across the tracks in Wyoming. I can rap. Okay. So I'll figure it out. Um,
Yeah, and just popped on saying that mommy wine culture is the worst.
yeah.
I can see how that can be like it can have a snowball effect in your life.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was talking with a lady about it today. You know, it's like yeah, some of them are still like, the problem is that we create these permission slips in our life. We hide behind a resume, a CV, or just whatever we're doing that we're doing like right. Like we're not failing at it. Like it doesn't have to
Yeah,
be perfect. We're not failing at it. And that's like an excuse. Like, well, I don't need to get better because I'm not flat on my face.
yeah,
And the stereotypes are, to me, they're dangerous because whoever came up with the concept of a high functioning alcoholic clearly had to work for an alcohol company. Like it
yeah,
was a marketing campaign. Because it's just not a thing. Like
yeah,
you're not, you are restricted, right? And then the stereotype we all think of is a dude that's like got a brown paper bag, like
yeah,
at the
yeah,
curb at like 7-Eleven or something, right? But there's not very many of those guys. But there's a ton of people that are like functioning at 75%. Like, yeah, they're taking care of their kids, but they're like emotionally disconnected from them and emotionally disconnected from their wife. And like,
yeah,
how do you call that high functioning? I'm just saying. Like, I don't know. Yeah. So
yeah.
there you
Everything tends to fall apart, and I think, man. So the caveat to that, I guess, the double edged sword on the relationship side, like we might have this mommy wine culture,
go. Hmm.
but we also have uh this culture of, and it's kind of getting to what Todd's saying here, and it's not even a culture. It's right. Once I get home from work, I'm going to sit down. Like my responsibilities are over. I'm going to de-stress and start drinking right when I get home. These guys,
Tune
right?
out.
Yeah, tune out. And man, that is so you have a relationship with a woman who is, hey, I need mommy wine, right? And you have a dad who's like, oh, I get home from work, I need to start drinking to relax. That is just, it's a recipe for disaster in their lives and in the relationship because they've started now ignoring each other.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
And there's so many other things you can do to distress. I mean, man, hang out with your hang out with your wife, hang out with your husband,
You mean you
have
want me to talk to my spouse?
talk, have dates. I don't I don't know. You have a routine. Like there's just so much you can do, and there's so much you should be doing other than worrying
Can
about wine, worrying about having a beer. Like it's cool to have a drink. I mean, it's no secret on here. Like Melissa and I had a drink the other night, but it was like, hey, we're gonna have this margarita with our fajitas that we made, right?
Yeah.
And that was our de-stress. Then we went, we talked. Like we make sure that there's time for us. It's not about the drinking. And
Well,
I think that's important, right? It's about the kids, it's not about the drinking. It should be
totally.
about your relationship, not about the drinking.
Totally. Yeah, I think that that's like I mean it's not a secret that I don't think that alcohol's the devil, you know. Like if it's used as some sort of like a bonding ritual,
Yeah.
I don't think it's that much of an issue. The problem would be is if the bonding ritual then becomes so ritualistic
Yeah.
that life doesn't exist without it. Like
Yeah.
yeah, I've been in that relationship with somebody
Yeah.
before. It's not good.
No,
Not good at
it's
all.
not good, it's not healthy. Like that's what everything revolves around.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
But I mean, it just gets back to the prioritizing your relationship, prioritizing yourself, right? Your relationship with yourself, your relationship with your spouse, your wife or your husband, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, because otherwise you're having like a nice little foursome, but you don't hang out with like each other. You just hang
Yeah.
out with your bottles.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bizarre thing, you know, and like alcohol actually reduces our ability to feel joy from other things in life. So it's like no matter what, if what you do is bond together off alcohol, eventually you're falling for the alcohol instead of your partner. Like
Hmm.
it's just the natural progression, right?
Yeah. And
Yeah, dude.
I just want to give a shout out to Todd. Sad to say he's not married. Awesome. But he does have a good daughter in college, NC State. Congrats. That is NC State's an awesome school.
Yes, it is.
That's really cool that she's
Yeah.
there.
Not everybody goes there. That's just the way it goes. Um, yeah, dude. So
Hey, question for you.
no. Um,
How do you know when you need to go to rehab rather than just detox at home? I love hearing you talk about this. That's why I popped it up there.
well, um, I so I guess like one question I'm curious about is like when you say detox at home, do you mean like you talk to your physician and your physician hooked you up with something to do a medically assisted detox at home? Because there's a pretty big distinction that should be made there between like you just deciding to quit because like that could kill you. I just want to point that out. Again, I'm not a doctor. Um, I've been on that side where it did almost kill me. It wasn't cool. So I don't want that to happen to you. Rehab, man, it's expensive as hell. The success rates aren't like astonishing compared to other treatment. So I would highly suggest that being a last ditch effort for anybody and everybody. Like just because it is hell expensive, it's going to set you back 5 digits usually. Addicted
There's
alcohol.
a
Go ahead.
so I would suggest there's other alternatives. Everybody seems to think right, there's rehab or there's no rehab. There is another alternative in here. It's called a sobriety coach like Dillon.
Oh,
Oh,
hey.
hey, this is kind of what he does. Like reach out to these people.
Yeah. Yeah.
They have resources to help.
Totally. Totally.
It's like
Like,
it's like with me. It's not just marriage counselor or divorce. There's other alternatives that have solutions for you that you can implement immediately to start getting the help you need.
totally. One of these days when these opportunities pop up, I will seize the carp and I will go get a hold of me. I swear I will end up being the guy instead of you being the hype man. It's like, hey, get a hold of him. Um,
Well, I
so
mean, here's the thing. I'm going to hit on this right now because it is people's lives
yeah,
at stake. So I have no problem telling them, get a hold of this dude. Like
yeah,
rehab is not your only
yeah.
option.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true. I want to do this real quick though. Um, I think you should talk to your doctor. I do want to make that clear. Like no matter what avenue you take, actually had somebody that applied to be a client earlier today, and I made it abundantly clear to her. I was like, even if you don't detox using your doctor, you will talk to your doctor during the program I have with you. Like that, this it's not negotiable. If you've been drinking for X amount of years and you've literally told me that you're avoiding talking to your doctor because you're concerned about your health, then that's not off the table. Like I'm your coach, I'm not your doctor, but you're
Yeah.
gonna get your doctor involved if you want to work with me
Yeah.
because
So
your health is important.
I think
You
I
know?
think that's great going into this next one because right, Bray's talking about quit drinking. Day 3, they've spoken to a doc, they have the meds, they don't really have rehab there in New Zealand. So, like in your program, what would be the number one thing they're going to start doing to get to quit drinking? Like where are you going to point them?
So if they've already detoxed, one of the first things we're gonna do is we're gonna start evaluating their life, figure out where the holes are, because it's always a lack. Like we're not digging up childhood trauma and shit, but like there's spots in your life that you're missing a brick or two in the wall. You start filling those bricks up, it becomes easier to stay sober. Like that's just a reality. You're filling a vacuum. Um, I hope that answers your question, but like
Yeah. I mean,
that's really it.
she goes on like she
And
gives a little more
abuse.
context and then we're going to come to Todd. Like prescribing and abuse, can't consume alcohol, you get really sick, however,
Yeah,
mixed with antidepressants, makes you zombie like. Like there is and correct me if I'm wrong, there's an end to using this stuff.
like and abuse.
Yeah, like
Oh hell yeah.
there's a way, like working with you or somebody to get off that to where it becomes a lifestyle change rather than a medically induced type thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't, I mean, I always have anyone I work with, you keep, I'm your coach. I'm
Yeah.
not your doctor. I'm not your psych. I'm not your counselor. Keep them in the loop, but make them like advocate for yourself, make them review the literature. Like, hey, did you know that recently they decided that a whole bunch of people are actually not depressed? They just have a drinking problem. And once they get sober, all of those symptoms of being depressed seem to go away. So
Yeah.
like, let's not over medicate people just because that's what we do. I don't know if that's how you handle it in New Zealand, but here in the US, that seems to be the thing. Like, let's just put pills in a shotgun, shoot it at the patient, and one of them's got to do it, right?
Yeah.
So
And
yeah, no, there's other ways.
yeah, and I think that goes right into what Todd's talking about here with the VA wanting to pump you full of pills. I mean, I remember, so my sister served over in Iraq, and that is the truth. Like the VA just,
Yep.
it's pill after pill after pill after pill. Like that's just what they do. And to get you to quit drinking, that's crazy.
Well, and I mean, my beef with like antabuse is so they have implants that you can get for that have it's just like a steady drip of antabuse, right? Over time. They usually last like 3 months. They're super expensive, but there's nothing making Bray take antabuse every day.
Yeah.
Like I unless it's court ordered. I know a little bit more backstory than what's going on here, but I don't know the story for sure. If for anyone, if it's court ordered, like you'll go to a place that will make you take it. But if it's just your psych or whatever that has prescribed antabuse, I have heard from plenty of people like, well, I just decided not to take it that day and then I relapse. You know, like, well, okay, like
Yeah.
there you go. Like then obviously there's more to it than just the med, right?
Yeah.
Naltrexone, in my opinion, is if you're going to be doing meds, naltrexone, I'm for above antabuse whenever because it helps. It helps with the craving instead of something that just makes you sick. Because the other thing that sucks is antabuse. You take cough medicine, it basically will make you feel like you're going through withdrawals. If you needed to take cough medicine, so I just think like it's a little overkill in my book.
So walk me through 2 steps you would take, no drugs needed, moving forward from this stuff. Like keep the drug talk out of it and just give me like a couple steps.
Okay, well, first thing is going to be movement. Like that's immediate. Is some form of fitness thing going on. Yeah, I don't care if you're trying to be an Olympic powerlifter, but like just 20 minutes. Like go get 2,000, 3,000 steps in, and you start to feel better. It actually starts to fix the hormones in your brain that you're fighting against as you're trying to get sober. That's going to be, it's a non-negotiable when I'm working with somebody. Not to be rude, but I've turned people down because they can't physically do it. It's like, well, I'm sorry, like it's one of the pillars of my program. You can't move. I can't take you on because it's how it works, right? The other thing is going to be starting to have some sort of self-care routine. Like you need to find things that bring you joy because you're fighting against a habit. A habit takes up time. You remove that from the equation of time. What are you going to plug in there? Like, what is it? And that's something that you've got to find. So those are like one of the first 2 things I'd be looking at.
Awesome. I like it. I mean, those are 2 of the things at the beginning of my program too. It's just like, yeah, it's amazing what happens to your life and your relationship when you bring the best version of yourself possible to it every single day.
Every day. Every
Like,
day.
things get so much easier and people don't understand that it's easy to say and it's fairly easy to implement.
Yeah.
But for some reason, people just don't have that switch go off in their head. Like, man, if I start taking care of myself and I start being the best version of myself every single day and bringing that to the relationship, bringing that to life, things start to get better, significantly better, really, really quick. Like that's how I get people wins in life, like instantly is, dude, here's a routine. Here's what you're going to stick to. You're going to feel better, look better, do better. Like that's just kind of the basis of it.
That's why I don't like this Tears and Tequila event that's in my neighborhood. Because I'm sorry, if you drink at 8 o'clock in the morning, even if you're not an alcoholic, you're not bringing the best version of yourself to the table for literally the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Because until you sleep, you are not resetting everything that you just screwed with when you decided to drink at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So, and that's not just me. That's like it's the science, bro. So, like,
Science, bro.
yeah, that's really it. I should have just dropped the Jesse, but trying to keep it peagish sometimes, anyways.
Oh, here's one for you that I kind of want to. I have a feeling I know what you're going to say, but I think it's Kaylani. Kaylani. I think it's her first. I think it's their first time in here, so totally. I didn't want to dismiss it.
No, I think it's good too, because there's other people in here that can maybe need that. So it depends. I'm honestly gonna put that on the soundboard. So I can just push a button and I'll say it depends. The biggest like determining factors, comorbidities, okay, when it comes to withdrawal, would be sleep and nutrition. So if you're like living a relatively normal life other than the drinking, you're probably okay. Again, not the doctor. I'm not a doctor. Okay. This is not medical advice, but you're probably okay. Because really where they're starting to see significant severe withdrawal is people that aren't eating food. I was that guy once because I was getting too drunk. I just didn't eat. And they're not sleeping. By the way, if you drink a lot, you just don't sleep. You think you're sleeping, but you're just passing out. It's different. So yeah, if your sleep architecture sucked for a while and if you're not eating well, it could be troublesome. Like my question for you would be like, you say 5 months straight. I mean, do you mean literally every single day for 5 months? Have you had a couple days where you didn't drink? If you didn't drink those couple days, kind of what happened? Those are all factors. I mean, it's a pretty complex question, whether you realize it or not that you're asking. But dude, my thing is go to the damn doctor because you can afford it. If you can afford to drink for 5 months, you can afford to go to a doctor. And the truth is, if you can't afford to go to the doctor, then you could definitely afford to go to a doctor because I'm assuming maybe you live in the U.S. If you live in the U.S., it's probably going to be taken care of. If you walked into the ER and you're like, I need a detox, they're going to take care of you. So also, I don't know why the hell you want to do it at home, to be honest with you, because it sucks. So there you go. Yeah, there we go.
I like Todd. Getting outdoors, fishing, thinking, clearing your head, not having a beer. Love it. Dude. That's the mindset. That's the mindset to have.
Yeah. I mean, I thought I was missing out on life when I was getting sober. Like I thought that, straight up, dude. FOMO kept me drunk for so long. I don't even care to admit it. It was like before FOMO was a thing we were talking about. FOMO was keeping me drunk. And then I now realize I missed out on so much of my life because I was drunk. Like it just things that moments with my kids when they were young, like because I'd sleep in a little late. I wasn't a shit dad or anything like that. And I'm not, if you are, I'm not being rude. This is a reality, right? But I still wasn't the best. I was still only there 75% mentally. Like that's me being honest, I missed out on all that stuff. So that's the true FOMO, and I can never get that shit back. So there you go.
What'd you do when you got bored? Like when people ask, if somebody came to me and was like, I just get bored and thirsty, I'd be like, get out and find some. Like there is no reason you should feel bored. There's so many things to do. And like, I don't know, sparkling water. Like when I quit drinking soda, I know it's not the same. Don't come at me for this one. But it was just that alternative is what I'm getting at.
Well, dude, I don't know. Because I mean,
I'm the type, no matter what is in front of me, and you see it on these lives, it doesn't matter what it is, if it's wine, if it's beer, if it's hard alcohol, if it's water, sparkling, whatever is sitting in front of me, I just drink. I'm just thirsty. Like it's just there.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm pretty cognizant about what's in front of me and for how long.
And neither of us are pre-diabetic. I just want to point that out for anybody that might think that's what's going on with all the water we drink. We're just athletic. Okay.
No. Have the blood work done.
Yeah.
Not pre-diabetic.
Annually, I'm good. My urine smells fine. Okay, don't worry about it. Anyways, I think, dude, we're still just talking habits. Like I've made it pretty clear frequently on the show. Like disease, whatever, don't at me, man. No, it's not. I won't back down from that. There's a bunch of neuroscientists that also won't back down from that, and I'm in that camp. So it's like it's just a deeply learned habit So it doesn't matter if it's booze, doesn't matter if it's sex, if it's gambling, if it's sparkling water, coffee, cigarettes, whatever. Any
Yeah.
of these things are just a routine we've created that we can't stop. So
Yeah.
I don't care if it's you're addicted to freaking saltine crackers, man. Like it's just as hard to step away from something that you do all the time. The
Yeah.
only difference, if you really want to distinguish, is like chemicals have their chemical hooks in you a little deeper. But man, if you get 5-7 days away from booze, it's gone. Like it's not running the show anymore. It's you, and you're allowing your own mind to sabotage yourself.
Yeah.
So, there you go, man.
100%. I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, as far as finding something else to keep yourself occupied, like go find it. Like that's your job. That's what. I mean, that's what I'll have a client. I have a list. It's 20 things I love to do that I take them through. I mean, it's their list. It's not my list. It's their homework.
Yeah.
They fill it out, and then the next time we meet, we'll go over and we'll go, okay, does it cost more than $10? Does it take more than this amount of time? Is it something you did when you were a kid that you want to go back to doing? Like you go through all these things, and essentially, I'm like, we're doing matchmaker with a hobby. Like what is the one that fits your budget right now, your time budget right now? Like, is it going to be the thing that helps you tick? And you go try it. And if it sucks, don't do it again. Like, no big deal. Go do a different one. You have 20. Like, so that's what you got to do. Like, try it out.
Yeah, there's so many things to do. Yeah, hobbies, and find more hobbies.
Yeah. I mean,
like I'm terrible at that. I'll say like my hobbies are work.
Yeah, dude.
Like I feel like that's my hobby is work.
I have like a good friend. He and I paint miniatures together, and like I haven't had time lately. But I really love doing this. So it's like, people be like, man, you need to take time for yourself and have fun. And I'm like, I am though. Like I am having fun. Like I don't think it would be healthy for me to be in back-to-back one-on-one client sessions 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. I don't think that would be healthy. Like I just know that.
Yeah.
So I have boundaries there. Like some of it needs to be creative. I need to be doing stuff like this in order to like maintain my sanity. But I really do love this. So yeah, it's filled the other void of the hobbies that it was filling, and it's okay. I don't feel sick about it, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe you and I need to go on a non-booze cruise.
A non-booze cruise.
Yeah, we'll go on a non-booze cruise.
Oh man, we could do so many lives from the non-booze cruise.
Dude. That's what it would be. That's all it would do.
But I like how you put that. It is about finding what you enjoy. I enjoy this. I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy seeing people succeed. It's why I've taken on pretty much a second job at the moment, along with my coaching.
Yeah.
It's why I coach. It's why I help people get back on their feet in their relationship. Like it is stuff I actually enjoy.
Yeah.
I enjoy seeing that. So I guess it's not really, it is work, but it's not really work when you have those wins constantly.
And what do they say? Like if you enjoy work, you'll never work a day in your life or something like that, right?
Yeah. If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yeah. I'd say this 99.9% of the time I love it.
Yeah.
There's moments it's a grind. I'm not going to lie. Like it's still work. It becomes monotonous. Like editing videos over and over and over. Like I need to do it because people need to see it because that's how they end up here. But like I've edited pretty much the same video like 15 times because it works. It gets people's attention. Like I that's my job. So I have to do that. So re-editing. Also, I don't like the sound of my own voice at this point because I edit these damn podcasts and I hear myself talk over and over. So there you go. There's that.
Yes. I love it. Gentlemen, have to go.
Todd, it was cool to have you, man. Usual time.
So Tuesdays at this time, every Tuesday. And then we also go live every Friday at
3 p.m.
3 p.m. Central. So it'd be 4 p.m. your time. And then every other Friday, starting this Friday at 8 p.m.
Yep. Yeah. 8 p.m. your time. Yeah.
So this time on Fridays.
Yeah. I know you found us on YouTube, but find us on Facebook. Facebook page is called Dillon and the Doc, or you can find Dillon Reed, or you can find Brian Rasner. With the Dillon and the Doc Facebook page, it's not up today. My son has the C thing, so he's at home, and that's kind of disrupted work this week. But I'm gonna put together an event calendar that'll be pinned on the top of the Dillon and the Doc page, so that we mostly because that off and on Friday, so that we know when it is, so that all of you guys know when we're gonna be live. But yeah, there you go.
Oh, hey, here's what the show is all about, and I love it. I hope somebody reaches out to Bray. I'm gonna take that info and do 2,000 steps when a craving comes, and tell my wife to make a coffee. If anyone wants to get sober with me and communicate, feel free to message, challenge each other. This is the shit I love to see and hear.
Yeah, community, man.
Yeah, like if anybody out there, even if you're not commenting, get a hold of Bray, start your own community.
Yeah.
Like start talking to each other. That's what this is all about.
This wouldn't be that cool if it was just a TV show. Because like we don't get to interact with you. Like it would be way less exciting to me. Like I wouldn't be excited about it.
Yeah.
Cool. Someone gets to watch this later. Like it's not as cool.
Yeah.
You got to be social with social media. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
It's in the name, just so we all remember. So yeah, I went to school for media, so I'm big into broadcasting and stuff like that. But yeah, so I love that. I really do love that. Yeah, man, 2,000 steps. It's like a mile, and most of us clip at like a 15-minute mile walk. So you're really like the coolest part about what he said, and I don't know if he recognizes it, but a craving will pass in 15 minutes. Okay. It's like a screaming toddler that wants ice cream. Okay. And the thing is, we've gave the toddler ice cream a lot. So it knows that if it just keeps yelling, it will probably give in. Yeah. So at first the cravings last quite a while because the kid's like, oh, if I just get louder, I'll get ice cream, but eventually like the kid's like, damn it, it's not working. And it gives up. So it's about 15 minutes is the longest your mind will hold on to a craving.
Yeah.
That sounds like a 2,000 step journey to me. So you go do your 2,000 steps, it should be gone by the time you get home.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool, dude. I love it.
If nothing else, you're active. Like you're taking that first step.
Yeah, totally. The first step of a 2,000 step journey. So there you go. Yeah. So way to go, Bray. I like that. One thing I kind of wanted to talk about.
What is it?
Nothing, dude. Nothing. I wanted to hear you spit something. I want to see what Dr. Ryan's thinking tonight.
What Dr. Ryan's thinking tonight, man. This week for me has been all about obviously communication, but like very clear communication and maintenance. So I'm on an incredible, crazy journey at the moment. So I'm coaching, but I'm also the campaign manager for a candidate for U.S. Senate, which is crazy. So I'm really spreading my time thin. And one of the things that's super important to me is the time I have with Melissa that we share. And I didn't want anything to come in the way of that. So it's been really about communicating with her like, hey, I'm going to make this happen. We need to talk through this. Like, how are we going to make this happen? So it becomes a we thing rather than an I.
Well,
which has been super interesting. It's been super good for us. And of course, it's like I fall back to the basics of everything I teach. Always. I mean, that's just kind of
I hope so.
that's kind of just the nature of it. And yeah, when you do those things and when you communicate really clearly about what's going on in your life, you seek support, but you also show support, things fall into place really quickly and fairly easily. It's like, hey, I'm going to be out of town. What about these dates? I'm going to share my calendar with you. These dates, you come visit and we'll go see this thing around the state. since it's our weekend hanging out. Or like you can help canvas, you can help do things. And at one
Yeah.
point she's like, well, I don't want you to be mad if like if I don't want to go. I was like, that's the farthest from my mind. I mean, this is a campaign trail. It's not super fun, but at the same time, so it was like if we wouldn't have communicated, she would have been feeling guilty for not being there for me.
Totally.
I
Yeah.
would have felt like shit because I thought I was leaving her out. And if we wouldn't have talked about that, that would have created so much tension in the relationship. It would have been unreal. But
Yeah.
since it was communicated early and super strong, those things just kind of went away. It was like, how can we each be there to support each other through this?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you just said it, support.
Yeah.
And support doesn't mean canvassing or
No.
going with you or any, like, you can support someone from afar. Like, just like my wife, like, dude, she's not right here. She's never been right here. She's not gonna be. I tell you that right
Yeah.
now. She's not probably. I would be so shocked if she was ever next to me on the show. Like, it'd blow my mind. But she supports me.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it works, you know?
Yeah.
So that's, but you have to communicate it. Like, a previous version of me would have been like, middle finger in the air. This is what I'm doing. Ryan and I are doing this thing.
Yeah.
And deal with it, right?
Yeah.
And it's just not how I approach things now. Like, because we actually have a relationship. We relate about the things, communicate about the things. We go like, hey, you know, how do we do that? So,
yeah, it was, so that was real eye-opening for me this week. Like seeing those things happen when very clear, honest communication takes place. How much easier it makes everything.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
those situations don't arise often in relationships. They really like serious situations like that. So when you can put into practice what you preach and see it work like it should, it's like, hey, yeah, this works exactly the way it should. And it works because there's two supportive people who have communicated clearly about things.
yeah. And I think, I mean, you're the expert here, but like, isn't that one of the best damn things that can happen for your relationship is going through a stress like in this, because it's a stress. It's like it's not just this streamlined, monotonous kind of like robotic thing that we do in
Yeah.
relationships, which
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
No.
my wife and I's like Monday through Friday looks pretty freaking the same because we
Yeah.
got kids, we got jobs. Like, I mean, it's hard to spice it up when you have 30 minutes before you go to bed, right?
Yeah.
But where her and I we've seen, I mean, we grow through the struggles. They suck sometimes. Like, I mean, we had some, I mean, yeah, I used to be a drunk. We've had some horrible freaking conversations that we had to have
Yeah.
to get where we are today, you know? But with those, I have a stronger bond with her than any other woman I've ever had in my life. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It does. It strengthens a bond. It increases trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's so many benefits to it. And not only that, like you handle it once, and the next time something similar comes around, you already know how to handle it. You know how to talk
the
through it. You know
tools.
how to handle it.
Yeah.
Right. And when something different comes along, you're like, oh, this is how it was handled before. Let's kind of try it here. Oh, what do you know? We talked through it. I
Yeah.
feel supported.
Yeah. 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 No, I love that, man. I do. Are you good on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you got? What popped into your mind there?
Well, it popped into my inbox, man. And so I don't want to, it's somebody that doesn't want, and I understand because our pages are public. They don't want to bring it up in the show.
Yeah.
But they're watching the show, so I do want to address it. So the question is about they don't want to do cold turkey, and they don't want to do drugs or what I call is the California taper. It's a really common. I've heard like AA Big Book Thumpers suggest to people like smoke pot to like help to get sober from alcohol.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do that. So they're asking if Valium is a viable alternative. And I will say yes, that it is. And it's very likely if you went and saw your physician, like I talked about previously on the show, that they're going to prescribe a benzo. It's either going to be like Valium, it's going to be Librium, Dilaudid. It will be that kind of tranquilizer, sedative type psychoactive substance. So to answer your question, yes, Valium is a viable alternative. Ideally prescribed. I just want to point that out. Don't just go picking it up off the street. But yeah, those that will help you through the nastiness of the beginning. It won't. I just want to make it clear too. It doesn't make it a walk in the park, but it's not as bad as it could be.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's what I want to do. I just wanted, before the show was over, I wanted to make sure I threw that in because he was like, I DM'd you. I was like, oh shoot. So
yeah,
I was checking those DMs. Yeah, dude. So
I like it.
what do you got? We got some final thoughts. Kaylani, I'm not ignoring you. This is a huge freaking can of worms, and Ryan and I have pretty strong opinion about 12-step programs and that as a alternative to, or I guess just a solution, I suppose. And we're done in 4 minutes. I don't want to I don't know that I want to drop a Reader's Digest version. It can work for some people. How about that? That's what I got for you for tonight. We could take it later, I suppose. Maybe we should at some point.
Yeah. You can read my master's thesis. I wrote a whole thesis on it, pretty much a whole book.
There's a whole entire thing that I've skimmed that, yes. I'm like, I get it. I'm like, okay, I have to read this quick because I got stuff also to do besides read this.
It's not a fun read.
No. Well, it's academic. Yeah, that's one thing I didn't mention. I am officially a published academic author now.
Congratulations.
Ryan is heavily published. I now have one. I'm in one periodical, but I'm stoked about it. I'm pretty excited about that.
Congratulations. No, that's awesome.
Thank you.
That's big. Your first pub.
Yeah, dude. It's the last of that one. I don't see myself doing more academic work in the future. It's just not my thing, man. I like coaching dads to get sober, not writing about research. Unless it's neuroscience someday, that might be a thing that happens. But yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, I don't want you to feel like you're being shortchanged here, but it really is a big can of worms because it's pretty nuanced about why we do or do not like it. Which hint, it's not so much like, but it works for some people.
Can I give the abbreviated version of my thesis and tell her what I think?
Slam it, yeah.
I think it's a great place to start. I think it's a terrible place to stay for extended periods of time.
With you. Yeah, that's honestly it. Like your recovery, you deserve more out of recovery than sitting in a room with other people that are trying to get sober. Like, that's all I gotta say.
You deserve a life.
Yeah, like let it be like an assembly line where you come in as a newcomer, you got people that are helping you as a newcomer, and then eventually you grow, you crawl, and then you're walking, and then you're sprinting, and when you're sprinting, it's time to hop off that conveyor belt and let the newcomers that came in after you help the next newcomers. Like, don't just hang out in rooms for the rest of your life. So yeah, there. I think that's pretty abbreviated without getting into the why, the who'sy what's it's of our opinions on it. Yeah, dude. So I think we're about done.
We are there. We're at the top of the hour, my man.
It was cool hanging out with you guys again on a weeknight. The first of many. Ryan promised me, he made a promise to me that even if he's on a campaign trail, he will be on the show.
I will be.
If he can't, I could probably carry it. I don't know if you guys would be as excited about it, but
I'll be there. I might be from a phone sometimes.
He's done it. He did it for me once. I was on a date and he carried half the show. So
I'll make it happen. Like I said, I do love this so much. I'm not going anywhere. I just have extra responsibilities at the moment.
Oh, the other thing, I didn't even talk to Ryan about this yet, but I upgraded our StreamYard account so that we can actually have more seats in here. So I think it would be cool to have guest spots on the show in the future. That's
Yeah,
not foreshadowing at all about anything that might happen.
I've got a few. I got a few
so-
really, really good ones that are wanting to be on. So
Good. So that's what's up.
yeah.
Okay, yo, we're
We'll
out.
see. We'll see everybody Friday. We're going
For
to
the
talk about
double
active
feature.
listening.
Yep, active listening on Friday afternoon, and then Friday night,
Another
whatever we want to talk about.
open discussion.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.